Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the USAID's event on USAID Bangladesh Climate Mitigation and Energy Cooperation launch of USAID BADGE program. My name is Mohammad Khan, serving as the Deputy Director of the Economic Growth Office, USAID Bangladesh. Please note that we are recording the session and will be sharing the recording of the event with all the registered participants via link. Today's event has two sessions. The first will be the inaugural session, followed by a short break and then a panel discussion. I will be your moderator for the inaugural session to virtually launch the Bangladesh Advancing Growth Through Energy BADGE program, highlighting the objectives, work streams, expected outputs, and outcomes. Following the inaugural session, we will have a bit break, then we will initiate a panel discussion on transformation of the energy sector in Bangladesh, challenges and opportunities. Shayan Shafi, USAID Senior Advisor, will moderate the panel discussion with experts from various sectors. The discussion will highlight stakeholders' perspective on Bangladesh's energy sector transformation to a net zero future, Bangladesh's role in supporting this transition, potential areas of collaboration, and future partnership opportunities. Before we start the program, I would like to highlight a few housekeeping information. We request that you keep your video and microphone off when you are not speaking or presenting to minimize background noise and to preserve the bandwidth for better internet connection. Secondly, please use the chat box to write your comments and Q&A box for questions. Please add names of the panelists if you want to direct specific questions to any one of them. Without any further delay, I would like to invite our USAID Mission Director, Derrick Brown, to deliver his welcome remarks. Over to you, Director Brown.
Thank you, Mohammad. Well, to our honorable chief guest, Mohammad Alauddin, the chairman of the Sustainable Renewable Energy Development Authority, our colleagues from the government of Bangladesh, our private sector, our research institute, academia, development organizations that are gathered here with us today virtually, welcome. Assalamu alaikum, namshakar, and good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us in today's very important event, which is our launch of our USAID Bangladesh Advancing Development and Growth through our energy activity, of what we call our BADGE project. As we know, Bangladesh is one of the most climate vulnerable countries in the world. Every year we see millions of people in Bangladesh that suffer the impact of climate change. I arrived here in Bangladesh 3 years ago, and I have traveled to every country, every corner of the country. I think I've gone on 17 trips since I've been here. And I've experienced firsthand the impact of this climate change. I'm happy to be part of this important activity launch through which we will address important issues in the country. On April the 22nd through the 23rd of this year, President Biden hosted a virtual leaders summit on climate catalyzed on global ambition to address the climate crisis. The summit convened world leaders to galvanize efforts to keep the vital goal of limiting global warming to about 1.5 degrees Celsius within reach. USAID played a key role in the Biden-Harris administration bold climate efforts by working with partner countries to reduce the emissions, the sustainable develop their economies, and increase climate resilience. USAID is accelerating our efforts to meet the urgency of this great challenge. So we're looking forward for this challenge by building on a strong foundation of climate change programs and true partnership. In Bangladesh, partnership have included the government, the private sector, academia, research institution, as well as our civil society. Under our Energizing a Net Zero Asia initiative, announced at the April 2021 Leaders Summits on Climate, USAID is launching 7 new generation clean energy programs, totaling more than 200 million to establish a foundation for a net zero energy grid in Asia. The focus of the new bilateral and regional activities include the following. We will be supporting power sector reforms, deployment of state-of-the-art energy technologies, modernization, including smart grids, smart meters, digitalization, cybersecurity, resilience, and supporting the transition to electric vehicles and improved battery storage. These new programs will include work here in Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, as well as regional projects in South as well as Southeast Asia. During the visit in Dhaka on April 9th, our U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, John Kerry, he focused on how the United States, Bangladesh, and other climate vulnerable countries can work more closely to advance climate resilience and adaptation and raise the ambition for migration action as a run-up for COP26 in Glasgow. The U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate Change, John Kerry, he highlighted the BADGE activity during his Bangladesh visit in April 2021. So we're so delighted to launch this activity today in the presence of all of you. I think I've seen, we have 90 plus participants that has joined us today. So we're so excited to have you join us. This 5-year initiative will expand Bangladesh's access to affordable clean energy, support clean energy, entrepreneurship, foster transparent and efficient energy markets, as well as advance innovation. It is also critical to curbing the country's carbon emission, which is nearly quadruple over the past 2 decades. It will reduce emissions, improve the standards for the people of Bangladesh, as well as support continued the economic growth. For more than 2 decades, we have been supporting Bangladesh to transform its energy sector. USAID has also championed clean energy innovation by assisting policymakers and the private sector to identify and to reduce technical barriers and investment risks, promoting public-private partnership, as well as develop commercial unity scale by wind power projects. We have seen that we have tremendous ways to collaborate and build partnership, empowering countries like Bangladesh with clean energy. Through our BADGE activity, we hope to continue to contribute to accelerate Bangladesh clean energy transition. We look forward to partnering with you to drive this innovation, the commercialization, and the deployment of clean energy technologies and solutions here in Bangladesh. These are critical for the climate protection through the net zero emission, for the protection of us all, as well as for the protection of generations to come. In closing, let me say, together we can make this happen. I cordially thank you for your time today, and with the launch of our BADGE activity and the implementation of this important activity, I wish great success. Dhanabad.
Thank you, Director Brown, for your valuable remarks. As highlighted by the Mission Director Brown, USAID plays a key role in the Biden-Harris administration's bold climate efforts by working with partner countries to reduce emissions, sustainably develop their economies, and increase climate resilience. Let's hear a portion of President Biden's message for global action on the climate crisis during the Leaders Summit on Climate in April this year.
It's undeniable, the idea of accelerating and punishing the reality that will come if we don't move. We can't resign ourselves to that future. We have to take action, all of us. And this summit is our first step on the road we'll travel together, God willing, all of us, to and through Glasgow this November and the UN Climate Change Conference. To set our world on a path to secure, prosperous, and sustainable future. The health of communities throughout the world depends on it. The well-being of our workers depends on it. The strength of our economies depends on it. The countries that take decisive action now to create the industries of the future will be the ones that reap the economic benefits of the clean energy boom that's coming. We're here at this summit to discuss how each of us, each country, can set higher climate ambitions that will in turn create good-paying jobs, advance innovative technologies, and help vulnerable countries adapt to climate impacts. We have to move. We have to move quickly to meet these challenges. The steps our countries take between now and Glasgow will set the world up for success.
Since the US rejoined the Paris Climate Agreement, a Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, John Kerry, has been calling for ambitious climate actions. Let's hear from the Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, highlighting accelerated achievements we collectively need to tackle the crisis, including having a multi-pronged energy sector strategy. Let's hear the video message.
But we know from the measurements, from the statistics, from the science, that emissions globally rose over the years since Paris. 2020 saw a drop in global emissions due to COVID, but already they're again on the rise. And many analysts expect a very quick rebound to where we were, rising even more unless very stringent policies are put in place. So to be on track to keep even a 66% probability of keeping global temperatures from rising more than 1.5 degrees, to do that, we need to cut global emissions in half by 2030. So that means we need to phase out coal 5 times faster than we have been. We need to increase tree cover 5 times faster. We need to ramp up renewable energy 6 times faster. We need to transition to electric vehicles at a rate 22 times faster. You get the drift? Everything has to be done with greater sense of urgency, with a determination that we have to win this fight. Now, can we do that? Can we win it? Absolutely, my friends, we can. And we need the United States and every country to determine they will get on a path toward net zero emissions by 2050.
Now we will hear about the activities USAID Bangladesh has been working on to support Bangladesh's energy transition. I would like to welcome my colleague, Senior Energy Advisor Cheyenne Shafi, to present the energy portfolio of USAID Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Mohammad. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. So this is Cheyenne Shafi, Senior Energy Advisor at USAID Bangladesh. And in today's brief presentation, I will not take more than 10 minutes. In today's presentation, I will be talking about the USAID Bangladesh energy portfolio and touch on the recently completed activities and also the ongoing activities that we have within our portfolio. Next slide, please. Yeah. So these three are our recently completed USAID projects. We have been working with the energy sector in Bangladesh for decades now, and these three have been the very recently completed three clean energy projects in Bangladesh. Starting with the scaling up renewable energy, the SHORE program, where we actually focused on three different areas in clean energy. One was on integrated resource planning, how the government and the private sector can actually get resource planning into their planning phase before actually going for implementation, and how the sector should be prepared. The second component looked into variable renewable energy integration and storage. And finally, the third component looked into innovative renewable energy procurement and auctions. The second program that we recently completed was the wind power capacity building activity. I think many of us present here are aware that we have been working in with the wind energy sector in Bangladesh for quite some time. We started with the conducting the wind resource assessment for Bangladesh at the national level for the very first time about 5 years back. And then we had the phase 2, we call, with the U.S. National Renewable Energy, the project, wind power capacity building project, where we focused on creating the market for wind energy in Bangladesh. The third project that we recently completed was a overall sector assessment on clean energy. And we focused on the challenges and opportunities for especially the private sector to bring their interest and engagement in the clean energy sector in Bangladesh, and also how the engagement can actually yield into more regional energy integration. Next slide, please. So these three were the recently completed one, and then now looking ahead, we have currently 4 ongoing energy activities, and on all of those 4 collectively, looking ahead, we have these 6 building blocks, if you will, for our clean energy interventions. The first one that I want to highlight today is promoting clean energy. This is something that we also heard from President Biden's and Special Envoy Kerry's message, how the U.S. government and USAID in Bangladesh are a great advocate for promoting clean energy. The second component, second building block, is protecting global environment, and how clean energy interventions is actually very, very relevant and related to protecting the climate change aspect of the whole spectrum. The third block is forging partnerships. We will be looking forward to work more and more with partnership arrangements. We all understand that we cannot do everything alone. No one can do anything alone, and there is a dire need for forging partnerships and do work collectively. We also want to create jobs by doing clean energy interventions. We also would want the world to see more sustainable and inclusive economic growth, again, through doing clean energy and energy efficiency work in Bangladesh. And last but definitely not the least, we would want to ensure that the countries have got energy security by using more domestic resources so that they don't have to rely on others and be more energy secure in their country. And all of our interventions are actually supporting the 2 U.S. government initiatives that Mission Director Derrick also mentioned, the Asia EDGE initiative, which contributes to the U.S. government's Indo-Pacific vision, and the Energizing a Net Zero Asia initiative, which is again focused on doing clean energy interventions in Asia. Next slide, please. So these are our 4 ongoing energy activities. The first one listed here is the Bangladesh Advancing Development and Growth Through Energy, the BADGE program that we are very happy to launch today. And I will have one of our colleagues from the implementing partner, the contractor, Tetra Tech, to present on the BADGE activity. So I'm not going into the detail, but we are very happy that this 5-year program has recently launched earlier this month. It's a $17.2 million activity working on 4 different streams. The second ongoing project is the Reinforcing Advanced Energy Systems. As I was mentioning, this is our phase 3 engagement with the U.S. National Renewable Energy Lab. And as always, we are very happy that we have still a working relationship with the NREL, and we will be happy to provide assistance to the government of Bangladesh, to private sector, academia, and other development, and work with other development partners with the expertise that we can access at NREL. The third activity we have is the energy research activity. This is an activity with the Florida Institute of Technology and with the Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology, BUET, here in Dhaka. And we will be working with the team here in Dhaka with help from Florida Institute of Technology and work on hydrogen-based power generation in Bangladesh. The fourth ongoing activity we have is the Energy Regulatory Partnership Program that we have. This is an institutional capacity building program for the Bangladesh Energy Regulatory Commission. And we have been also a very active and old player in this regulatory regime and worked with BRC for several years. And through our next interventions, we also hope to continue to support the Regulatory Commission in Bangladesh. Next slide, please. As I was mentioning about the BADGE activity, these are the 4 work streams, the task areas of our BADGE contract. The first one will look into the policy reform aspect, more towards enabling environment so that we can uptake the advanced energy technologies in Bangladesh. The second work stream will look into high-performing energy institutions, both financially and operationally. And by institutions, we mean all the utilities, power utilities, starting from generation, then distribution and transmission, and also the energy regulators. The third work stream will look into transparent and best value energy procurement. Again, we feel the need for additional support in the context of Bangladesh energy sector in energy procurement. And there are several mechanisms, innovative mechanisms, more value-driven, market-based mechanisms when it comes to energy procurement. So through the BADGE program, we will be supporting that in Bangladesh. And finally, the fourth component will look into our energy participation beyond borders and helping the Bangladesh energy sector to participate in regional energy trade that will be more meaningful and effective for the purpose of Bangladesh's own energy security. And my last slide will talk about, next slide please, talk about the regional and interagency energy programs that we have. So we have actually 4 regional energy programs where we are a part of. And all these 4 programs are managed out of the USAID India mission. And all these programs look into regional energy cooperation and collaboration in these countries in South Asia. And also we have an Asia Gas Partnership Program where with USAID RDMA, Regional Development Mission in Asia, based in Bangkok. And also a Power Sector Program, which is our US Department of State's program in the power sector in Bangladesh. So we are also closely working with these regional and interagency energy programs in Bangladesh. So with that, I think I have completed my presentation for today. And later today, we will be talking about how we can actually use the badge activity, catalyze the clean energy transition in Bangladesh. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Cheyenne, for your excellent summary of USAID portfolio. As highlighted in Cheyenne's presentation, USAID's energy portfolio advocates for deployment of new renewable energy technologies, high-performing energy institutions, and stronger coordination and partnership with the government of Bangladesh, academic and research institutions, and private sector actors. Aligned with the US government's call for ambitious climate actions, the Bangladesh government is also taking the leadership in mitigation as well as adaptation actions. In this context, we will now hear a portion of the Honorable Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's speech during the Leaders Summit on Climate, announcing Bangladesh's plan for a low carbon path and multi-sectoral approach to address the climate crisis.
Bangladesh is pursuing a low-carbon development path to raise our national determined contribution, NDC, and adaptation ambition. We have included new sectors in addition to the existing energy, industry, and transport sectors in the mitigation process. We are planning to submit a quantified, ambitious NDC by June 2021. Excellencies, Bangladesh is observing Mujib Year, marking the birth centenary of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. We are planting 30 million saplings nationwide and adopted Mujib Climate Prosperity Plan to achieve low carbon economic growth. As the chair of the Climate Vulnerable Forum and B20, Bangladesh's key focus is to uphold the interest of the climate vulnerable countries.
We are trying to address the glitch. Please pause for a moment.
Mohammed, I think the video
Yes.
is over. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Atul. I just wanted to go over, as we have heard, right now we are basically have heard our climate issues from Cheyenne's USAID programs, and as well as we heard from the Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh. We are also very excited to have us here with us today, Mr. Mohammad Alauddin, and he's the chairman of the Sustainable Renewable Energy Development Authority, the national nodal agency for the promotion of renewable energy and energy efficiency in Bangladesh. Chairman Alauddin spent more than a decade working in the Ministry of Power, Energy, and Mineral Resources and serving the government of Bangladesh since 1991. a development researcher by passion and a green energy enthusiast. Mr. Alauddin contributes on the topic to various national dailies as well as the national training and policy workshop. Now, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Mohammad Alauddin, Chairman, Sustainable and Renewable Energy Development Authority, SREDA, Government of Bangladesh, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you, Mohammed. I think I'm audible to everyone.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, you are, sir.
so let me thank the organizers, especially the Derrick Brown, Mission Director of USAID Bangladesh, for inviting me to this event on launching Bangladesh Advancing Development and Growth through Energy, for short BADGE. So already we all have come to know from the speech from our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina that we are committed towards a transition to clean energy. Even as a chairman of SREDA, the very creation of this agency is the manifestation of government's commitment towards clean energy. And I must acknowledge the kind of support we have received from USAID in preparing the wind map for Bangladesh. We are still working on it. So with the help of USAID, I believe we will be able to carry forward the agenda of clean energy. And in Bangladesh, you know, for wider adoption of clean energy, I mean renewable energy, we have lot many things to do. Say, for example, we have to explore many areas of clean energy. Say, for example, our marine renewable energy resources are yet to be explored. Our offshore wind energy resources are yet to be explored. And even in our solar energy, we still need to have live data. We have set up 8 measuring stations, but there are scope to develop those measuring stations so that we can have live data, which ultimately help the entrepreneurs. You know, we need help from the private sector as well as from our entrepreneurs for escalation of renewable energy. In doing so, we basically are in need of the business cases, because if we can come with business models, only then our investors will come in to invest in this sector. So this is one area we need to have a deep dive. And another important area is the basically a perception that is now in existence in the society that renewable energy is comparatively costly energy, which is not actually true. Say, for example, when we say the coal is cheaper, we basically ignore the fact that the negative externalities of coal power, say the price of the pollution, again, when we calculate the price of renewable energy, we don't take into account the price of the positive externalities of renewable energy. So that's why it appears that renewable energy is costly. Really, it is not a costly energy right at the moment. I think I have missed my link for a while, so I repeat. For example, when we say that coal is cheaper, we basically ignore the negative externalities of coal. So that's why renewable energy is in competition with conventional energy without any level playing field. So this is very much important. So we also need to calculate the price of renewable in comparison with the fossil fuels, taking into account the positive and negative externalities of both the energy. So these are the many areas we need to work, and I believe this BADGE project will contribute a lot towards Bangladesh transition to clean energy. So with this, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me and also enlightening myself about the USAID's current program as shown by the Shaihan Shafi, Senior Energy Advisor of USAID. So thank you so much.
May I ask Mr. Alauddin, please keep your video on. Thank you, Chairman Alauddin. At this time, I'd like to request your concurrence for the launching of the badge program through virtual curtain raising. If you could either mention verbally that you concur or show any sign that you concur.
Okay, you can. I concur the launching. Thank you.
Thank you. And if I could also request our Mission Director Derrick Brown to turn on his video. And
Turn it on, Mohammed.
okay, and so can I ask your concurrence again? Did I hear with regard to launching the virtual curtain raising for
Full
badge?
concurrence. Thank you.
Thank you. With the concurrences from both our chief guest, Chairman Alauddin, and USAID Bangladesh Mission Director Derrick Brown, I request raising of the curtain to launch the Bangladesh Advancing Growth Through Energy Program badge.
Bravo.
Yeah, it's outstanding. Wow.
USAID Bangladesh is delighted to have you at the official launch of Bangladesh Advancing Development and Growth Through Energy badge program. USAID Bangladesher Bangladesh Advancing Development and Growth Through Energy badge প্রোগ্রামের শুভ মুক্তিতে আপনাদের সকলকে স্বাগত।
Thank you, Chief Guest Mohammad Alauddin, Chairman, and thank you, Mission Director Derrick Brown. So moving on, I just wanted to mention that partnership is a cornerstone of the badge program, especially engaging private sector actors. With that theme in mind, we will now hear a video message from the President of the U.S. Bangladesh Business Council, Ms. Nisha Biswal.
Volume is not on.
Hi, Atul. We cannot hear the video. We can see the video.
Hello, good morning, and salam alaikum to all of you. I want to thank His Excellency, the respected Chairman of the Sustainable and Renewable Energy Development Authority, Mohammad Alauddin, for his presence here today. And of course, I want to thank USAID's Bangladesh Mission Director, Derrick Brown, for including me and the U.S. Bangladesh Business Council on today's launch event. Distinguished participants from the government of Bangladesh, from the private sector, research and academic institutions, and international development partners. It's such a pleasure to be here with all of you today. We're so excited that the U.S. Bangladesh Business Council is part of the launch of the BADGE initiative today. In fact, the U.S. Bangladesh Business Council was itself only launched earlier this year in April of 2021 by Her Excellency, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina. That event was also attended by many private sector and governmental leaders from both countries who discussed the dynamic future and potential of the U.S. Bangladesh economic partnership. Today's launch of the BADGE program is an exciting time to explore the new partnership opportunities with Bangladesh. The energy sector, as you all know, forms a key pillar of the ongoing commercial relationship between our two countries. With the launch of this new activity, by USAID, there will be even more possibilities for effective partnerships in Bangladesh and across South Asia that advance social and economic development, promote private sector engagement, and provide greater access to clean and renewable energy and energy efficiency. BADGE's clear focus, including strengthening the business environment for advanced energy technologies, enhancing support for strong energy transition, support energy institutions, and helping to reform procurement processes, as well as furthering cross-border energy trade, are all important to the U.S. private sector and can build a strong foundation for the additional investment in Bangladesh for years to come. Especially at a time when Bangladesh has taken a global lead on climate change mitigation and adaptation, we understand that the country is now at an important juncture of moving away from coal-fired power plants and towards cleaner and more sustainable energy sources and long-term planning. It's an encouraging step that we hope to see reflected in the next master plan as well. We believe that this project is a timely and crucial example of U.S. and Bangladesh governments and partnerships in the energy sector. Working with the private sector, we can together create new ideas for sustainability cooperation, tackle climate change, air pollution, and design new technology partnerships that create jobs and particularly provide opportunity for millions of Bangladeshi women and youths. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the U.S. Bangladesh Business Council, again, thank you so much for letting me join today's launch event and to spend some time with all of you. We congratulate you on the launch of the BADGE program and look forward to the many opportunities that this new USAID program will create for us to work together in the coming years. Again, thank you so much. And warm regards from the U.S. Bangladesh Business Council.
Welcome back. And at this time, I would like to request Mr. Ritesh Kumar Singh, Senior Energy Advisor, Tetra Tech, to present the BADGE program, highlight the BADGE programs. Thank you. Over to Mr. Ritesh.
Thank you, Mohammad. Anthony, can you show the first slide? Thank you. Good morning, all of you, and I'm here to present on BADGE. As we heard from Shayan, a BADGE program it has 4 result areas: enabling environment for advanced energy technologies, high performance institutions, transparent and best value energy procurement, and increased participation in regional trade. The 4 result areas are, organized into 11 intermediate result areas and 4 cross-cutting areas to help achieve the activity goal of improved energy security and resilience through better access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy systems and transparent and efficient energy markets. The whole program is, apart from programmatic activity funds, we have grants and innovation fund, as well as a crisis modifier fund in case there are situations where we have to devote resources to address immediate needs of Bangladesh. In terms of result area 1, the 4 intermediate result areas focus on enabling environment for increased deployment of clean energy, energy efficiency and demand side management, modern energy services, and then helping increase financing for advanced energy technologies in the sector. High performance energy institutions are focused on policy, regulatory, and improved energy sector planning, and improvement of performance improvement in generation, transmission, distribution sectors and part of the supply chain, and then forging partnerships and improving capacity of the sector to adopt more and more clean energy and low carbon path for the sector. Third result area focused on improving capacity on transparent procurements and coming up with advanced tools to support that. And the fourth one is focused on improving both policy and regulatory capacity for increased participation in regional energy trade, as well as technical studies to support that. Next slide, please. So the program is being implemented by a strong local team supported by international experts and best-in-class subcontractors and partners, as you can see on the slide. Each of the result area would be headed by a very senior sector professional who have done a lot of work in those subject matter areas and will be supporting and working on badge. In terms of our partners and subcontractors, we have a mix of local partners, small US business and large business firms who are going to provide focused and best-in-class support to the badge program. Each of the result area is supported by international mentors, so that we create a mentor-mentee kind of approach and handholding for the key leaders of badge program to help achieve the results of the program, objectives and goals of the program. Next slide, please. So, aligned with the 4 result areas and the focus of badge, there are many expected results and outcomes. The key 6 focus areas for the outcomes are increased clean energy capacity and access to modern energy services in Bangladesh, commercially and operationally stronger energy and electric utilities, then increasing investments, new investments, mobilizing investments in energy sector, which essentially would need commercially and operationally stronger utilities for sustainability, helping improve the transparency and effectiveness of auctions and energy procurements as clean energy gains more momentum in Bangladesh. We would be helping increase regional energy trade with Bangladeshi neighbors, and there's a lot of traction in that areas. We would be forging new partnerships between Bangladeshi and international institutions to help in technology transfer, knowledge transfer, and building higher capacity for the sector to achieve its low carbon and clean energy goals. Next slide, please. So as we start up, as Shan mentioned, we've just started on the contract, and now we are going to hold consultations with stakeholders to co-create and co-design annual action plans. So in coming days, we would be mobilizing our full team, and then we would have interactions and consultations with government of Bangladesh counterparts, private sector, multilateral donors, financial institutions active in the sector, academic and research institutions, as well as civil society, to inform our action plans and align our work and action plan to the national level priorities and badge result area objectives and the goal of the activity itself. In coming days, we will be holding a lot of workshops, roadshows, and other communication events to create awareness about badge programs and the objectives and the ways and means by which it can help Bangladeshi stakeholders achieve results of the program as well as national priorities. I think that's it from my side. Thank you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mohammed.
Thank you, Ritesh, for highlighting the components of the badge and how it is planned to be implemented. So appreciate that. So now I would like to request all the speakers and the panelists to turn on their videos for a group photo.
May I request everybody to turn on their videos, please? Ready? Thank you.
Thank you, Ipshita. We have come to the end of our first session here and are going for a few minutes of break. The next session, please keep an eye on your screen for the timer for the next session. Shayan Shafi, Senior Energy Advisor for USAID Bangladesh, will moderate the session. This marks the end of the inaugural session. Thank you. Dhanyabad.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our event. This is the start of the second session, which is the technical panel discussion. We are very glad to have 4 panel members with us here today. So a little bit about the panel discussion today. The theme of today's panel discussion is transformation of the energy sector in Bangladesh, challenges and opportunities. So Through today's panel discussion, we hope to discuss the different stakeholders' perspectives on Bangladesh's clean energy transformation to a net zero future. We also hope to have some idea about how BADGE or USAID in general can play a role in supporting in this transition. We also hope that the discussion will talk about potential areas of collaboration and future partnership opportunities with these different stakeholders. So we have with us today four panel members from the government of Bangladesh, ITCOL, private sector, and an academic institution, WIT. So the first presenter today here is Mr. Tanvir Masood. He is Assistant Director, Sustainable and Renewable Energy Development Authority, SREDA. As our second speaker, we have Mr. Ahsanuddin. Qazi Ahsanuddin is the AVP for Renewable Energy at Infrastructure Development Company, ITCOL. The third panel member we have today here with us is Mr. Abhijit Borua. He's the plant head of Bangladesh Edible Oil Limited, BEOL, and he will bring his perspective from the private sector. And last but not the least, we will have Dr. Farsim Mannan Mohammadi, the director of Center for Energy Studies at Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology, BUET. So with the introduction of these panel members, I would now like to start the discussion today. And I would actually want to ask the first question to Mr. Tanvir Masood from SREDA. So Mr. Tanvir, the question we have for you today is, how does the government of Bangladesh envision the clean energy transformation in Bangladesh over the next 10 years? We know it's a general question, but you can frame your answer to the specifics that you think is relevant to today's discussion. And for the transformed future, what policies and mechanisms you see will be needing to be in place? And how do you foresee the role of international players and partners like USAID in supporting this development? Over to you, Mr. Tanvir.
Thank you, Shan Bhai, for your generous introduction, and I'm very much honored to be attend here. About the question, that your first question was actually how does the government of Bangladesh envision the clean energy transformation in Bangladesh over the next 10 years? So 10 years actually not too long time or not too short. It's a medium term based plan. But Bangladesh has long-term plans up to 2041 to harness clean energy in Bangladesh. And to harness clean energy, we need some specific instruments like appropriate policy, easy accessible finance, coordination among the stakeholders, and international cooperation for knowledge sharing and also for technical. So if I go one for the appropriate policy, Bangladesh is playing a very important role here. Bangladesh government has formed SREDA as a nodal agency, and from SREDA also with Power Division, we have taken several initiatives to revise the policy whenever it is necessary. We have already taken initiatives to revise the RE policy 2008 because this is 2021 and the scenario of the renewable energy sector has been changed tremendously. And about the specific technology-based policies, like we have formulated wind energy guideline, which is been in the approval pipeline of the Power Division, and we have formulated also the Solar Action Plan 2041, keeping an eye to the Delta Plan. So these policies will actually boost up the development of the renewable energy sector in the next 10 years. And about the easy accessible finance, you may already know that ITCOL is working for a long term to develop the sector and for arrangement of easy accessible finance. And also there is green bond and green loan from the Bangladesh Bank. So anyone who have the capability of availing this, they can easily go there and send their requirement. And we are SREDA from here as authority. We can help him to get those loans. And another thing is that the coordination of the stakeholders. this coordination actually comes from two different sides. One is the development partners, and another thing is again SREDA. As nodal agency, SREDA is working with every agency is related, the utilities, power division, development partners, financial organizations. So everyone is coming to SREDA and they're sharing their obstacles or challenges they are facing. And we are trying on level based to solve those issues. But yes, there is some issues that SREDA is very new coming organization. It's just formed in 2015. And development partners also playing a very important role here. And about the international cooperation for knowledge sharing and technology transfer, actually, whenever we are going for a policy making, the technology is always very much combined with the policy. So this technology transfer is not only possible with our local experts. So international cooperation is very much necessary for this development. And your second question was for the transform future, what policies and mechanisms will need to be in place. Actually, for sustainable future, I think we need to focus on best use of the renewable resources. Bangladesh is a small country with land constraint, so our policy should be formulated keeping an eye on this issue. And I think right now the leadership of SREDA, Bangladesh is going to the right direction. We are focusing on industrial rooftop solar system. So net metering policy is in place. We are trying to harness megawatt scale wind energy power plant. So we have taken initiative to collect data and formulate necessary guidelines. But coordination will be a big factor here. So SREDA should be actually more empowered to take actions when necessary. And third was, how do you foresee the role of international partners in supporting the development of the policies? So as I was saying, the policy does not actually gives us the direction, whether it combines technology with the rules and regulations of a country. So, and I think the biggest role of international partners is in technology transfer, knowledge sharing of international best practices, industrial grade investment, by which policy will be formulated to make best use of all the instruments together. So to me, international partners are playing an important role to develop these policies. Probably it can be directly or indirectly, but their contribution is a big motivator to provide the policies. So that's all from my side now. So you can, after you.
Thank you so much, Tanvir. You have hit very important points, and I think if we heard it clearly, there are actually a lot of synergies that still needs to happen at various levels, which I think everyone here will also agree. Great, thank you very much. Just for the audience, we'll have actually 2 rounds of questions. So 1 question each in to each panelist. So we'll have a total of 8 questions, and we hope we will have still about 15 minutes for Q&A. And for the panel members, just if you could limit your responses in 4 minutes, that should be sufficient. So the second question we have here is for Qazi Ahsanuddin from ITCOL. Ahsan, we are talking about the transformation of clean energy future in Bangladesh, and this will not come just like that. It will need huge investment, and for which catalyzing private sector finance becomes essential. So working in ITCOL, we thought that it might be of a good interest to you, and share some light on where do you see the need for these investments in catalyzing the private sector, contributing to the Bangladesh clean energy goals. And if you want to include in your response whether there will be whether ITCOL has any approach to spark the investment and financing already. So over to you, Ahsan.
Thank you, Shafi bhai. Good morning, everyone, and assalamu alaikum. Essential question about financing. Doing anything requires financing, and we at ITCOL are sparring financing for at least last 24 years for renewable energy, and renewable energy is our second largest portfolio at ITCOL. As you, I think you guys already know that ITCOL is a non-banking financial institute, and we support different renewable energy projects and programs through our financing. We do concessionary financing, and we also do additional support in terms of technology and in terms of policy formation by guiding our guiding our partners or sponsors. As you already know, that Bangladesh has made remarkable progress in poverty reduction, supported by sustained economic growth. And it has been the fastest growing economy over the world in past decades. However, Bangladesh is at the front line of the risk of countries from climate change and could suffer annual losses up to 9% of its economy at the end of this century, which is, supported by reports of ADB and IFC. However, fortunately, Bangladesh has seen a surge in investments in clean energy and energy efficiency in recent years, contributing to significant development gains. This progress, however, is coming under threat by the unchecked climate change, and Bangladesh is coming on one of the top 5 countries in terms of vulnerability in climate change globally. It does urgently needs climate investment to enhance resilience and unlock opportunities of low carbon growth. And at this time, the program of BADGE will obviously support that cause. We have seen climate investments in Bangladesh already. We have the largest solar home system program supported by the government of Bangladesh, the 5.1 million solar home system program. And this rise of solar home system program has spurred different kind of business model, different kind of value chain, which has, accelerated or catalyzed the market movement, and also, ensure that the local market can boom. Local policies can, attribute to that. It has, showcases there are, challenges, and government of Bangladesh has, developed organizations like of SREDA, which are, assisting the market for, mitigating these challenges. However, financing is a big challenge because we have a huge requirement of financing for financing these kind of projects, because you have to understand that these are all very non-traditional financing modalities what we work with. The renewable energy sector in Bangladesh is still at a very early stage. It cannot compete with the traditional power or energy based projects that we already have in Bangladesh. So these require support. The business cases have to be made. As you already know, we pioneer and we assist the private sector as much as possible through our financing, and all our financing are based or are in line with the private sector financing. So we try to assist the private sector as much as possible, and those private sectors, business or private businesses require business cases or profitable business cases for ensuring or for investing their equity in it. So we have to, spur a lot of investment for that. And we see that after solar system, there has been boom in solar irrigation. There has been a requirement of cold value chains, development of cold value chains. We also are seeing responses from market that transportation has a huge requirement of financing, especially EVs, which are all, in our rural areas, there are auto rickshaws, which also require financing. So manufacturing these auto rickshaws and also the charging stations, these some kind of projects require further financing. We already house a project of solar rooftop and solar grid type projects, and we already have the financing for that. However, spurring this financing for these projects require further support from technical end, and we will always look forward to BADGE's technical assistance in that regard. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Hassan. I think you ended with the second question that I had in mind. So for the second round, just have in your mind how you see BADGE can be of interest to ITCO. We'll ask that question afterwards. So moving on to the private sector, we have Abhijit Barua, plant head from Bangladesh Edible Oil Limited. Abhijit, what are, in your views, what are some examples of private sector interests in leading the way? Again, the similar question about the clean energy transition in Bangladesh, but how do you see private sector role in this, and what support, more importantly, what support do you feel is needed for the private sector to promote the scaling up of these advanced industrial energy efficiency programs? Over to you, Abhijit.
Okay, thank you. It's a very nice program.
Abhijit, sorry, just for some reason there is a big echo. Maybe you can try without the microphone. without
just a
the
second.
headphone. Just try a different.
Is it okay now?
The,
I mean, is it okay? Am I fine? You can hear
it's
now?
still coming with a lot of echo. In the morning, it was just fine. And I see you muted. I'm not sure. Are you using two connections?
No, it's okay. I'll switch over to. Just a second.
Do you want us to come to you in after Dr. Farsim?
Is it okay now? Is it okay or is it still there's so many echoes?
No, there is a clear echo. I think it might be very difficult for the audience to hear you. If you're using two connections, maybe just mute the one that you used and use the other one.
Okay, I'm sorry for that. Is it okay now?
Yes, it's perfect. Thank you, Abhijit.
Okay, sorry for the glitch. So coming back to your question is like very discreet. What we need is like right now is let's talk about clean energy in private sectors. Many of us believe that only installing solar rooftop panel on the industry side that will ensure that we have clean energy. That is not actually in the case. Many people think that we need efficient actually energy system. We're talking about clean energy system and efficient energy system. So that is including, like, you can say about boiler, you can say about my equipments which are using heavy electrical energy, where we can save electrical power by installing different efficient energy drives. We have seen in our industry, in our oil and gas industry, that boiler consumes a lot of energy. We can install an efficient boiler. We can have an efficient ETP. We can have efficient HVAC system. We can also have efficient cooling towers even. And of course, we have to have some sort of, renewable energy generation in every industry that we have. Coming back to the industry need at this moment is like still in 2021, many of us believe that renewable energy can only give lighting power and fan power. No motor can run with solar power. No drives can run. So still, this is unfortunately true. So what we need is more like more advocacy support, more technical support to the industry people who are actually taking the decision whether to install electrical solar power on their rooftop. Second is electrical. Other than electrical is like mechanical stability and civil stability. Coming back to my factory, one of the building is like 15 years old, where we have PEB, I mean pre-structured shed. Now the question is, if I install a solar panel, which like say 300 kilowatt peak, we can easily install based on the capacity that we have on the roof. But my people's question or head's information is that whether this structure will sustain another 20 years. So we need civil structure or somebody who can ensure that yes, this building can sustain for another 20 years. So this type of support is required for the local suppliers or local industry developers. So at this moment, so these are the basic 2-3 requirements that we have. Later on, we can come back. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You again touched on very, very unique points, but very relevant. You mentioned how industrial energy efficiency is actually a bigger game changer in industries than renewable energy. And also, you have highlighted the importance of integrating from the planning stage so that you don't have to go and correct it afterwards. So integration of these thoughts in the planning stage is also key to success. That's great, Abhijit. Thank you very much. Moving on to our fourth panelist, Dr. Farsim Mannan Mohammadi, Director at Center for Energy Studies in BUET. Dr. Farsim, we our question to you is mobilization and implementation of new technologies in the industry sector remains a key for Bangladesh's transition to a clean energy future. In your opinion, what are the major impediments to this transformation, and how do you recommend overcoming them, in your view, from the academic standpoint? Thank you.
Thank you, Shayan, for inviting me for this August occasion, and thank you for BADGE, and congratulations on BADGE, launching the BADGE. So in order to answer your question, I'll take a brief digress and take 1 more minute out of myself. So my brief digress is about a story of a movie. The name of the movie was The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. The movie was released in 2019. The story is about a boy in Africa, and it was all fine with that boy. He was a happy family he had. He was going to schools, but then there was a long drought, and because of the drought, their agriculture was failing, crop failures, severe political turmoil, gang fights, and fight for limited resources. And the boy was troubled. His school was closed, and he saw his family failing. So one day he saw this book on energy in his school library. So from that book, he learned that he could make a windmill, and from that windmill he can harness water like a pump. He can run the pumps and draw water from a distant river or from a well to his agricultural lands. So for that he needed the back wheel of a bicycle and a dynamo. So he had all these social hurdles to overcome to get that wheel and that dynamo, and finally he did. And he could pump his lands for agriculture, and everybody was happy. But he even had to fight his school teacher to get hold of that book, because that book was of a higher grade. The boy was probably grade 8. So he had to convince his teacher to get that book. So in this story, you see the answer to your question, the impediments. It's actually the society. For that boy, it was another society, but for us, for any other country, there's our societies. So each society has their own impediments. So in our case, for example, in Bangladesh, new technologies, new thing, anything new, it's a conservative mindset. So anything new is questioned, and there are impediments. For example, for the cell phone technology, I remember back in 20 years back, late 2000 or early 2001, there was the cell phones were coming. There was costly cell phones, and I wanted to buy one cell phone, and I had to call my friend in one of the top companies to get hold of one particular model. So I had to. So he told me that you have to come by Saturday noon, because there are only 2 sets left. So that was back in late 2000. So I rushed and got my cell phone. But now in 2021, we have like how many? 120 million cell phone users and more than 100 million Facebook users. So you can see the transition and the technology. So in the previous times, the technology was slowly adopting. It was costly. People were, what is this technology? But soon it took off. And the answer to, now I come to the direct answer to your question, it's the attitude. That's the attitude that is the impediment of new technology. And for the cell phone and all those technologies, why it becomes so useful, why it becomes so widespread? I can buy a cell phone from just outside my home door. Why? Because there was a school curriculum introduced on ICT in our school. So ICT is now a subject. So that ICT, that subjects in the school, that changed the attitude. Now the attitude is more informed. So for example, in now to directly answer to your question, the greatest impediment that you can model the society's response is through attitude. So in order to improve the attitude, the solution is the school awareness. So one of the questions from the audience was, how do you do the awareness? We motivate our students to either a lesson or 2 from grade 8, 9, 10, or lesson plan, or supplementary readings about energy and climate. Of course, climate is all, these 2 are all tied up. So attitude is the problem, and an informed attitude is the solution. And where you look for to the schools. Thank you very much.
Got it. No, thank you, Dr. Farsim. It's really inspiring words, and you have mentioned clearly how attitude and social awareness in general can actually play a big role. And The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind is available on Netflix. So participants, if you haven't watched it, you can watch it over next Netflix. Thank you, Farsim bhai. So this brings us to the middle of our panel discussion. We have completed one round, and we still have 17 more minutes for a second round. And just before we start the second round, I just want to mention that we are recording and taking note of the questions in the Q&A box here. And we have compiled a list that we have. And at the Q&A section, we will try to direct a few, answer a few through the help of the panel members and also myself and Ritesh from Tetra Tech. But all the unanswered questions today will be sent to all the participants and the registrants who has already registered for this event today. So we will be sending the responses to you if we are unable to answer them live today. All right, so moving on to the second second round. The first question is again back to Tanvir from SREDA. So Tanvir, we think BADGE has the potential to establish institutional partnership in Bangladesh. We have actually focused on establishing institutional partnerships as a focus area for BADGE. So in your opinion, how do you think BADGE activity and USAID in general should consider cultivating such institutional partnership, with example from SREDA or any other GOB agencies, government agencies that you can think of?
Thank you,
Over to you,
Shanway.
Tanvir.
Again, giving me the floor. Actually, a partnership works when we work on common goals. And I think BADGE program can be a platform to work on common goals for government and international partners. So institutional partnership is very important for Bangladesh food transfer technology, upgrading existing policies and to implement projects. So SREDA worked with organizations like National Renewable Energy Laboratory, NRDL before, and which was an extraordinary achievement for wind energy. Still, we are working on the map, which was created by the NRDL, and still we are talking to them about various suggestions, and that is very much appreciated support we are getting from them. So I can feel the importance of these institutional partnerships, and this joint work could be beneficiary for every institutions of government, like our utilities, PDP, PTP, and power division also, because their need will be different, and the institutional partnership can bring them different enlightenment from different point of view. So BADGE should find out the goals of the organizations want to achieve in next 10 years. So the government organizations can share their goals and plan to achieve those with probable challenges with BADGE, and this platform can match an institution to overcome the challenges. So my point is the need of the government offices should come from them, and then it can be sorted out by BADGE to match related international institutions. Another thing I feel very much that research opportunity is very much limited to our technical universities. I work in wind sector personally for last 6 years and see that these universities are still behind in wind resource assessment or power plant design, installation, this type of work. So technical knowledge transfer and research opportunity will increase the strength of sustainable future of Bangladesh. And this is not only limited to wind sector, even for the solar sector, and also we are searching for new technologies for hybrid vehicles. These can be a new game-changing options, but we need strong support from international players to share the knowledge and share the technology they are using there, and this can have an important role. So I think that's how BADGE can have an impact here. Over to you, Sharvil.
Okay, thank you once again, Tanvir. You again hit an important point about technical knowledge transfer for innovative and newer technologies that might be mature in many markets elsewhere, but not in Bangladesh. So I again emphasizing on the need for technical knowledge transfer. Maybe also something that we can tag team with BUET, SREDA, and USAID. BADGE program. That's great, Tanvir. Thank you so much. The second question to Mr. Ahsan from ITCOL is, Ahsan, we mentioned about the role, you mentioned briefly about the role of international collaboration in general. And our question for this round to you is, where and how do you see the role of international players, and particularly the opportunities for collaboration with BADGE to scale up ITCOL's existing clean energy activities? So over to you, Hassan.
Thank you, Shafii. We, as I've said, that there are, many opportunities to work with BADGE, because we have different gaps of financing, which will require technical assistance to make a consolidated effort to understand, make the private sector understand of the financial benefits of this kind of projects. So we see a collaboration in cultivating a new business model, of developing a new business models. We see different technologies that USAID has already invested in neighboring countries of Asia. We have seen extensive work in India. I think India has financed a great project of coal value chains. So Bangladesh is yet to have this kind of projects with solar energy, considering solar energy in them. So these kind of projects with the coal value chain on transportation and on renewable energy are some of the fields that ITCOL is very interested and keen in. However, there are no pilot cases. So a pilot case have to be built with collaboration of that different partners from different South Asian countries, which BADGE is collaborating with in their current program. And also we would like to see our even local partners to collaborate with local industries and also local academics and institutes of government institutes like SREDA, so that we can have a conclusive decision making or policy environment which will enable a project financing feasible throughout the project life. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan. Again, very good points on coal value chain, e-mobility, and doing pilot to basically establish this relatively newer technologies. We completely agree to that. And we in USAID, through our past clean energy program, I think many of us here is aware the catalyzing clean energy in Bangladesh, the CCEB program that we had, which was our past 5-year program. That actually had frozen food as one of the select industries that we used to work on industrial energy efficiency. And we see tremendous opportunities for increasing energy efficiency and saving a lot of energy in that sector. So all good points. And I think as we progress with the BADGE implementation, the work plan development, I think we will do stakeholder consultation, and at that point we'll be having more specifics on these areas of interventions. Thank you, Hassan. Abhijitda, the next question is to you, and it's basically asking you for some recommendations, your top recommendations for USAID, that for the BADGE project, how we can support the private sector in advancing the clean energy goals in the short term. And we also understand there are interventions that needs to take place, which is in general longer term in nature. So what would be your top recommendations for us through the BADGE project in the short and medium term to advance clean energy goals? Thank you.
Yeah, okay. The short term would be like just arrange some visits to the different industry where they have implemented rooftop solar panels and have implemented some clean energy initiatives in their factories. So there will be an eye opener for a lot of industries who are willing to invest in renewable energy. Some of the short-term goals also can be to give them a financial model that how installing a solar panel and how installing different clean energy devices in your
whole energy portfolio in your industry can benefit your ultimate
Yes.
profitability and your company profitability. So that would be a financial model understanding for them. So these would be like short-term goals that how BADGE can help the budding industries in
Great.
Bangladesh in private sectors. Some of the long-term, mid-term goals can be like to advocate government and other people that while implementing renewable energy, clean energy in their companies, in factories or in the premises, then there will be like, green initiative tax benefit for the companies or for the private sectors, which actually
Incentives. Yeah.
incentives and financial, benefits for the private sectors from government, so that at least and they can be more motivated in long term that yes. And also can we develop a country sustainability index or a country green index that this company is actually 2-star rating or a 3-star rating in terms of implementing sustainable goals, or in terms of climate goals, or in terms of clean energy goals of the country, that yes, this company is also in a kind of star rated company. You can say about a 10-star out of 10-star, this is a 5-star company, so that we also feel proud that yes, we are in the league of achieving our whole country and net zero Asia targets. So that's all from my side, that where BADGE can help us.
Thank you, Abhijit. Again, very, very good points, short term. And I gather that you mean by visits, you mean that USAID visiting industrial facilities, so that there is a word in the market that this is something that BADGE is looking forward to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So it's more about socializing and getting the word out there about the opportunities and potential. Got it.
And also arrange visits in some of the good industries where they have already implemented it.
Yeah, so that it's a learning from, correct.
Yeah.
It's a learning for us as well. Great, thank you very much again for these very important points. And finally, the last question is to again Farsim Bhai. Now you'll be talking little about yourself and how academic institutions can play a role, and research organizations in general can play a role in Bangladesh energy transition. And how do you think that, again, how do you think that we can collaborate with you or the other institutions or research organizations in the process? So over to you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Well, in short, to answer your question, academic institutes and research organizations in Bangladesh can take a very important part in the transition of clean energies. But what we lack currently is a concentrated research, a concerted and concentrated research in the energy sector. In Bangladesh University of Engineering Technology, we have like 6 or 7 very strong departments which are directly related to energy research. And I did an indexing of who are active in energy research for EPRC recently. So I found about 50 faculty members from electrical engineering, mechanical, chemical, architecture, petroleum, and departments of physics and chemistry, basic science from my university. So who are actively working. And actually, just to let you know that there are 2 very important researches going on energy research. One is with the Department of Chemistry in Buet, who are doing on the energy storage battery research. They got a huge fund. And also the other one that is from Chemical Engineering Department, which you said, Dr. Kaunesh Kirtani, about hydrogen. And we actually ran a small lecture on hydrogen fuel 2 weeks back from CES with Dr. Kaunesh and the chairman of BCSIR. So other government institutions like BCSIR, the Science Lab, the Atomic Energy Commission, they all have energy research. But if you see the nature of this energy research in the past years, it was very scattered. With the EPRC funding some energy research, then EPRC we call it. So then a certain goal was there. So people were working towards energy. And I think this research towards clean or energy related any problem will be accelerated by under the BADGE program. And for example, for my institute, I would say that a faculty collaboration, research collaboration, and courses readjustment, things that relate to energy, climate, and clean energy, net zero, etc. Well, those things. So new courses, course adjustments, readjustments with the existing courses, research personnel I already said, and learn and contribute. So if for example, very world leaders in renewable energy, NREL, if we can collaborate with them, that will be learn and contribution. Learning and contribution, both things are very important. And the one last thing that I want to say is that for policy making in Bangladesh, in RE or power system and anywhere, there is zero academia, zero contribution from academia. We have to improve on this. So I think, and I look forward to BADGE to reduce this gap. If you don't ask me questions, I cannot answer you. So because I don't know the questions that you'll be asking. So instead of looking towards you, I'm looking for lofty journals to look for a problem. So you need to ask me and I need to answer you. So this is the tradition that we need to enhance under BADGE. Thank you.
Got it. No, I think you have mentioned a very important point here again, very rightly, that this missing bridge between enthusiasts and people with funding. I mean, research is also comes with a price. There is always I have seen from and you would agree that funding research in Bangladesh in general is not a very commonly practiced thing like it is in many other countries in the world. So we note your point about how BADGE and USAID can actually collaborate. And I think for the audience to know, we are actually working for a memorandum of understanding with USAID to have some kind of a collaboration on advanced energy technologies. So hopefully we'll get that, and with that we can also help academic and research institutions like USAID. So we have come to the, thank you Farsim Bhai. We have come to the closure of the regular question answering session of this panel. We have noted about, let me check, about 19 questions in the chat box, and we have answered a few. I started to answer a few, but again, this session started. So we can take a few questions and direct them to each of the panelists. So I just let me give 1 second to run through this here. Okay. Why don't we start with you, Farsim Bhai, because your memory is fresher. And the question is from Mizan Khan. He mentioned, do you plan to include energy efficiency, renewable energy, and climate change in our educational curriculum? So from USAID's standpoint, what's the business as usual scenario when it comes to incorporating energy efficiency, renewable energy, and climate change in the education curriculum at USAID? At least we can hear first-hand experience from you.
Okay, so we have some courses under electrical engineering and mechanical engineering, and possibly from chemical engineering, which incorporate parts of these things. We don't have a particular program under this. For example, energy engineering, a degree on energy engineering, which we have proposed from the CES, Center for Energy Studies. We will be proposing to the Academic Council. It has gone through the syndicate about upgrading the center to an institute so that we can give some degrees on energy engineering. So to make postgraduate engineers more conversant on energy issues. For climate, there is another institute under USAID, an environmental engineering program. They address those courses, but as again, the limitation is that the courses only peripherally talk about energy issues and climate. There's not a single course or a single degree. We can make the adjustments for a single course. That's easier, but for a degree, we need more processes involved. But in order to touch on with Mr. Mizan, he actually asked before, which I also answered in my previous session, you need to target the schools. That's very important.
It's starting earlier than
Starting
later.
early. That will make an informed attitude.
Great. Thank you for that comment. Abhijit, can I place another question to you from the audience? Syed Alam,
Sure.
and I'm placing it to you because I know that you have worked on this sector before, so you might have some idea. So his question is, what about the disposal process and environmental impact of solar panels when they end up with their life cycle? What's the usual practice in Bangladesh?
Okay, that's a very good question. We were thinking it when we were installing solar manufacturing panel in Bangladesh that back in 10 years back, that what will happen in like after 15, 16 years or 20 years, what will happen to this? Unfortunately, at this moment, we have a very limited way of, disposing the solar panels. There were few examples in rooftop, not a very high amount of solar panel that has been removed from from industry side or from megawatt level side, because this all only been only 5 to 7 years back.
Right.
We have these things. Yeah, but this is a good challenge at this moment. There's disposable policies are not that much stringent. So at this moment, whatever small way this has been being generated, it's been just not a coordinated way or not a scientific way that we dispose of the panels.
Interesting.
It's just only so yeah, a long way. We have to think about it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Vijita. And just before we move on to the next question, just wanted to touch base with Hassan. Hassan, do you have any idea about this one, about disposal of solar panels? Because you have, ITCOL has been working with the SHS home systems for a long time. What has happened to those which were installed earlier?
Well, with respect to solar home system, we have still we don't have any correct method of disposing solar home systems, because those solar home systems we have installed have not, elapsed their performance life or operational life. However, we have a conclusive battery recycling system, as you know, and we all the batteries that are being that are out of their warranties are being recycled to the battery vendors under our program. However, we are looking into the fact that how this mass amount of solar panels which are being implemented in different financings of our under our portfolio can be recycled, and that could be also opportunity that BADGE could take into thinking about the future of this project.
Okay, thank you. And I think I am also aware about the Department of Environment. They are also involved in this process, especially battery recycling. They have some protocol, and you rightly mentioned, Hassan, that these are from the users. They are responsible to get it back to the manufacturers, and then the manufacturers also have to have their obligation to dispose of those properly. But very good question and very intriguing. Thank you for the discussion. Ritesh, can I ask the next question to you? I think this is more relevant to the BADGE program itself. It is a question from Sabina Nahid Labib. The question is, who are the stakeholders for capacity building and partnerships of the BADGE program? And can you give the audience an idea about what type of capacity building programs we are initially talking about? Ritesh.
Yeah, so in terms of partners for capacity building, we certainly start with the partners we have in the program, and then we will be enrolling a lot of partners for executing this part of the program. We already talked to a couple of university and technical institutions in Bangladesh as well to act as resource pool. So this area is still open, and we will have a lot of partnerships with international universities and institutions as well to help work in this area. So there isn't a very specific list of partner institutions at this point. And as we start our dialogue with stakeholders and which includes academia, research institutes within Bangladesh and outside as well, we will be signing MOUs and enrolling them in the process to help on the capacity building needs of the sector.
Okay, thank you, Ritesh, for that response. I have Tanvir, can I ask the next question to you, because the sender actually mentioned it's a question for SREDA. If you have any, could you comment on this question? The question is, what is the government policy, existing government policy for EV or e-mobility? It is a question from Data Makfur.
Okay, actually for the EV policy, there are two ministry involved and two authority involved. One is BRTA and one is Power Division. Power Division mainly involved with the charging station of the EV. So that's where we have worked. There was a committee in SREDA and we have created a draft guideline for the charging stations, insurance charging stations, and we have forwarded to the BRTA. But the main authority for this purpose is actually BRTA. They have to create a guideline that how the EV will be in our market in a very short time. So unless the guideline is approved by the government, it cannot be published right now. But I think there will be stakeholder consultation before the publication, so everyone will get to know of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Tanvir. We still have 4 minutes. Let's take another question or two. Let's take a question from Mahmoud Fayaz. The question is, besides regular forms of renewable energy, i.e. solar, wind, and hydro, will there be also efforts to look into forms of waste to energy and bioenergy as well? So I am assuming this is meant to be under the BADGE program. And Ritesh, do you want to take that question, or I can also answer? But let's. Why don't you start, and I can also chip in.
Sean, can you
question on yes. Question is, besides the regular forms of renewable energy, will there be also efforts, I'm assuming under the BADGE activity, to look into forms of waste to energy and bioenergy? So is the BADGE project, does the BADGE project have provision to do work on waste to energy and bioenergy?
Right. Yes. All these ideas are open for us to consider. And there are provisions within BADGE program to include all these areas. Again, as we proceed and proceed on the consultation process, we will see the need and to the extent to which the stakeholders ask for this kind of activities and interventions to be specifically included, we will include them. So there is no restriction or foundation as such when it comes to clean energy and renewable energy kind of stuff. So we will consider. Shyam, you want to
thank you, Ritesh. And from USAID standpoint, I also second to what Ritesh just mentioned, but also want to highlight that yes, I mean these two are are definitely, we have provisions to do this under the task 1, the work stream 1 that I showed in my presentation, which was on enabling environment for advanced energy technologies. So these two technologies that you have mentioned are considered to be advanced energy technologies, and we can definitely incorporate into our work plan for this activity under BADGE. I also want to highlight that things like this, which is of advanced energy nature, I mean, we also have our ongoing activity with the U.S. National Renewable Energy Lab, the NREL. I mean, we also have an array of activities that we can do under the Reinforcing Advanced Energy Systems, the RACE program that we have also, that I have also mentioned during my presentation. So yes, with both BADGE and RACE, we can actually look into this. But the fact remains that we have to, as Tanvir was also rightly mentioning, that it has to be demand driven. It's not like we want to do it and let's do it. It's more about the concerned entities want to do it, and we can be supporting that transition. So with that, part the agenda, we have reached to the exact 11:55 timeline, and I would again want to thank everyone for participating in this panel discussion. Especially, I want to thank the 4 panel members for their extremely well articulated responses to the questions, and also being flexible to answer the questions from the audience live. With that, I would like to hand it over to John Smith-Sreen, Director of Economic Growth Office at USAID Bangladesh, to provide a vote of thanks to today's audience. Over to you, John.
Thank you very much, Cheyenne. Assalamu alaikum. Today is an auspicious day. It's an auspicious day for clean energy in Bangladesh. We've been eagerly waiting for the launch of USAID's newest activity, the Bangladesh Advancing Development and Growth Through Energy, the erstwhile BADGE. Today's BADGE launch event highlighted the tremendous partnership and collaboration opportunities that we foresee during implementation of BADGE and during Bangladesh's transition to a net zero emission. Let me start by thanking all of you, the community of clean energy stakeholders, for participating in such an important event. Together, we've been able to articulate some of the challenges and some of the opportunities with respect to clean energy transition in Bangladesh. I'd also like to particularly thank Mohammad Alauddin, the Chairman, Sustainable and Renewable Energy Development Authority, SREDA, for launching the BADGE activity jointly with the USAID Bangladesh Mission Director. Chairman Alauddin has eloquently expressed the government's ongoing efforts and ambitions in the clean energy sector. Chairman, we trust that our fruitful collaboration will continue as we jointly implement BADGE and other clean and renewable energy activities supported by USAID. And I'd like to thank my boss, Derrick Brown, USAID Bangladesh Mission Director, for jointly launching the BADGE activity. Mission Director Brown reiterated the United States government's commitment to climate action, to helping Bangladesh reduce emissions, to continue supporting economic growth, and to build on a strong foundation of climate change adaptation, resilience, and mitigation activities and partnerships. In Bangladesh, as Director Brown said, these partnerships have included government, private sector, academia, research institutions, and civil society. As shared earlier by my colleague during his presentation on USAID Bangladesh's energy portfolio, many of the lessons learned from our past and present engagement have formed a strong foundation for implementation of the BADGE project. We will continue to support Bangladesh in promoting clean and renewable energy technologies, supporting institutions, advocating for innovative and cost-effective policies and procurement standards, and supporting regional cooperation, all leading to the goals of USAID's Energizing a Net Zero Asia initiative. I would like to extend appreciation to Nisha Biswal, the president of the U.S. Bangladesh Business Council, for supporting the BADGE launch and sharing her message with us today. She highlighted the great potential for an expansion of clean and renewable energy in Bangladesh and emphasized how the U.S. private sector could contribute in technology cooperation, project implementation, and creation of jobs. Thanks to our colleague from Tetra Tech for delineating what BADGE will focus on and how this will be accomplished. Special thanks to our distinguished discussants today, Tanvir Masood from SREDA, Qazi Hassan Uddin from IDGAL, Avijit Barua from the Bangladesh Edible Oil Limited, and Dr. Farzeen Mohammadi from the Center for Energy Studies, Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology. You've shared your expertise and shed light on potential partnerships under BADGE that can support Bangladesh's transition to clean and renewable energy and net zero emissions. I also like the image created by the story of the boy who harnessed the wind, as it's aspirational, and we need to aspire to achieve important results. I truly believe BADGE can help us do so. I'd like to thank our SARE team for your support in organizing today's event. SARE, the South Asia Regional Energy Hub, is a platform established by USAID to help coordinate and amplify U.S. government investments in clean and renewable energy and energy efficiency in support of the Asia Edge initiative. Finally, let me thank you, the audience, drawn from diverse backgrounds and interests, government, private sector, academia, civil society, and international partners, all who share an interest in promoting the transformation of the energy sector in Bangladesh and across the Indo-Pacific region. It was your participation and engagement that made today's launch event and discussions so rich. And it will be you, hopefully working in partnership with us, who will provide support to successfully implement the BADGE activity. As we move forward from today, I encourage all of us to share good models for clean and renewable energy, energy efficiency, utility strengthening, procurement, and regulatory reform, models that promote good governance, protect the environment, build resilience, and facilitate social and economic opportunity. By doing so, we will help Bangladesh to continue demonstrating leadership within the Indo-Pacific region and globally. By doing so, we help build a future that is more equitable, more prosperous, less polluting, and more secure for all of us. Dhanyabad.
Thank you so much, John, for your excellent inspirational remarks. Colleagues, we have come to the closure of the second session and also the end of the 2-hour BADGE launch event. If you have any questions or feedback for us, here are 2 contacts, one from USAID, myself, Shayan Shafi, and one from Ritesh Kumar, one from Tetra Tech, our implementing partner for the BADGE project, Ritesh Kumar Singh. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions that you might have. So with that, I would again like to thank everyone for your participation, and we look forward to working with you all. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you all. Khura Hafiz.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.